Hello everyone. So today I've been hearing that you guys have been having problem on how to approach a project, and this is gonna be my take on how to approach this project particularly, and also like just want to let you know this is just my personal take. There's so many way that you can do it, but I think like this may be a really good guideline for you to follow along, and hopefully these videos will help you. Okay, now let's get started. So the way that we are going to approach this project is that I'm gonna pull out like a Word document file right here, and I'm gonna take note along the way as well as like I go through the file right here, what the professor want to expect from us, and this from like both my thinking and also like my discussion time with Arjun and professor. I will be pulling out also the the raw data file as well as the score data file so that you guys can see what I'm going from there, and what is my the emphasization of my point. And so along the way I be pulling out the score data as well as the like all the Excel file in order to emphasize my points and help you guys on how to follow along. And also let's see, since we're doing different language, so some of us doing R, some of us doing Python, and this file will serve as like general guideline. I'm not gonna go too into detail on anything related to coding, but I hope these little videos right here can help you guys on where to go and on this project and on knowing how to break it down into pieces. Okay, with all that talking gone, let's get started. So yeah, pretty much I'm gonna go ahead and go through the objective with you first. And long story short, you don't have to look in here, but you can look right here. So pretty much like from what I understand, the three main thing that we're gonna do is that first we're gonna have to clean it raw data set, and after that we're gonna need to use k-nearest neighbor and predict the price of the 100 handpick house on the score data set. And pretty much like it sounds simple, but let's go ahead and go through the data part so that like we're gonna go where to go from there. So again, I think it's gonna be important if I go ahead and tell you guys about the background, the goal first before getting into the data. So pretty much, long story short, imagine yourself as a consultant. You trying to help a customer. She or he want to buy a house, and you and him or her go through like a really long and tedious process of learning about their interests and what they like. So you pretty much handpick 100 houses based on their interest, like 100 best choice or something like that. And you store this in the score data file right here. But the thing is that like at the time that like you was helping them, you don't know the sale price. And whenever we want to buy something, we want to know the sale price, right? So our job's gonna be predict the price based on the raw data set. So after finish talking about the background, I'm gonna go ahead and go straight to the data. So that this is really important because like it's the meat of this videos. Okay, so bear with me on this one. Oh, this the font too big. Let's reduce the font. Okay, we good. So in here we're gonna have like 4 raw data sets, and I go ahead and I'm gonna pull them out for you, and we're gonna work through all them slowly. As you can see, we have like a 4 file, which is the health features, property survey 1, 2, and quality assessment. So pretty much like for the 4 raw data set file right here, I'm gonna go ahead and shorten them instead of you have to take a look and read them through everything on the PDF file. Pretty much like the 4 raw data set right here has everything you want to look for when you're trying to buy a house. For example, the price, the size of the lot, or the square feet, or how many cars that the garage can check. That's pretty much like the summary of the 4 files, and the key things in here is that like you're gonna see is that like you're gonna need to pay attention with the primary key right here, because it's gonna be the key to link the 4 files together. And apparently there's gonna be some mistake along the way, so you may have to do a lot of data wrangling in order to find out like the missing value, the outliers, or the erroneous value. And Luckily for you, the raw data set right here, they're gonna come with the sales price column available, and this is also one of the key point that you gonna need to pay attention to, because I I personally think it's really important when you're gonna apply this column right here to predict the price. And until this point, you guys may have a question about why is there like 4 raw data set, but instead of one, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out to show you what is that about. Here, this is the house feature file, pretty standard, with the PID right here of the information related to the characteristic of the house. Secondly, we have the property survey, which only have like a 4 raw data right here. The second survey, which has the same number of columns, and the final quality assessment, which has only 3 columns. Yes, only 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Working through this project for a while, and what I believe what to do with these data is that since they're 4 raw data set, I believe that the professor wants to tell us that we have to combine them and together to create one united file, so that it's easier to work with, and also it's easier to have doing the prediction when it comes to the score data set. Pretty much combine them. Pretty much what that means is that as you can see the 4 files right here, they have a different column. So you're gonna go ahead, the step I would suggest that you're gonna go ahead and doing whatever in R Python, bind them or combine them based on their PI, their PID columns right here, because all of them are the same. After you finishing binding combining them together, you're gonna go back to your file, and you're gonna go ahead and check for redundant mistake along the way. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a quick example on what does it mean by redundant data. So if you go to house feature right here, and if you go, and it's kind of subjective to depending on your taste on which column that you think that is gonna be important when you buy a house. You're gonna keep it, and what's not, you're gonna remove it. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a really obvious kind of set of data that I don't think is really necessary in this project. If you look at the house feature file right here, I'm gonna show you the pretty obvious example of a redundant data, and what does it look like. So along when you was looking at the file, I would strongly suggest that you pull out the class project description right here, because they have a really important part that they have all the variable descriptions, so you're gonna know what the variable is about, and it's easier for you to work with them. And back to our redundant data, so I'm gonna scroll down right here, and pretty much when you look right here, you have the yada yada yada, but which means first floor square feet, the measure of the living space of the first floor, and you have right here the second floor measure of living space on the second floor of the house. And I would say that those two data is redundant. Why? Because when you take a look at the average ground living area right here, and it's saying right here that is the measure of living space of the entire house, just including the basement. So it is redundant because you already got the total measure of the living space of the entire house. So why would it make sense to do a prediction based on the first floor and the second floor? It's up to you, but for me, I think that since we already have the entire living space, then it's gonna cost you more effort, and cost you more time in order to incorporate these data into your calculation, and it's just redundant. You already have the entire space. You don't need to go through each individual data point once again. So for this example, I would strongly suggest you using your code and go ahead and just remove the 2 columns right here. You can keep it though, because it's your own analysis, not mine. It's your grade, not my grade. But you got one my points right there. The file right here, what's to do with these data. And the second thing is you're gonna see there's gonna be mistake along the way. So missing value, outlier, or a no nearest value. So this gonna be finding, you're gonna find them out by yourself using I would say like for missing value, and let me type that along the way too. So for missing value, the things you're gonna do is that you need to go back to, for us in R, we're gonna go to I think it's data wrangling, HTML file. They have like all of the skill needed for you to work with it. Cap like finding the new value and how to replace them using mode, median, or stuff like that. And for another, for these finding outliers and erroneous value, the only way I believe is that like in order to solve it is just you have to graph it. So pretty much like graph the data to find outliers and erroneous value. Yeah, that's gonna be my take on the four raw data set right here. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and go through the score data set right here. So pretty much like for the score data set, they almost have the same number of columns, or I mean like variable, just like the raw data file, and there's no sales file column available. And why is that? The thing with like the sales file column is that, like as I said in the background and the goal part, pretty much like you handpick 100 houses based on the interest, and apparently you don't have the price with yet, so that the score data set is gonna be the houses that we trying to predict the price for the customer right here. So this pretty much like the file, and I don't want to spoil like some people have been spoiling in Adventure Infinity War and stuff like that, but it's for your own good. I just want to let you know that like this file have the same amount of column variable in term of the same as like the for raw data file. The for raw data file, when you combine them together, the only thing it doesn't have is the sales price, and it's going to be the thing that we're going to predict for this project. Oh, and one more thing. So if you take a look at the score data file, you're gonna see that there's missing value right here. So yeah, this pretty much like gonna be the your job in order to clean this up. So yeah, and now I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you guys like what to do straight up with this project. So this project, I think the two main part that you wanna do, that the professor want us to accomplish, is that is the data wrangling part and also the KNN application. So first thing first, for data wrangling, you're gonna need to first step like first of all, just go ahead and try combine the four data raw data file into one file. That's gonna be your first step for sure. And secondly, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna start to clean the data along the way. So finding the new value, remove unnecessary redundant column as I stay in the example above, and you're gonna repeat the same procedure for the score data set. And finally, you're gonna combine them together into one file to do some analysis on the data right there. So what you want to do is you're gonna do you want to graph the data to see like to check if there's cap like any cap like outliers or some value that may affect the way your data is gonna predict. You're gonna do log some skew on your graph that you want to remove that in order to increase the accuracy of your prediction. That's fine too. And min-max normalization based on like how big your, based on like it's depend on your choice, but I believe that min-max normalization is essential in this project. And finally, you're gonna do the KN application. So after you finish everything with the data wrangling, you're gonna go ahead and apply the formula in order to find a prediction, shorting them, doing whatever you want to find your best prediction. So for this part, I hope that I may have some time to go ahead and go through for it in details, but I gonna go ahead and stop it right here. But if you have any question, please feel free to give me send me a message through Facebook, or my if you know my LinkedIn. And I also gonna put this file on my website at Terry Lamcao, TerryLamcao.com online too. So yeah, just hit me up if you have any question. And yeah, this is the final project. Let's do it.